guys, how are you doing? This is week 5 of our distance learning, and this video here is going to be week 5, group 1. So I'm very excited because this week we're learning about the parts of our brain and how they function and what they do, because our brain is what controls our entire body, our emotions, our thoughts, our movements, everything starts in the brain. So we have talked about the cognitive triangle, right? So you got your triangle, and in the middle, where my nose is, you have an event, and then my dog is trying to get up here. Sorry, get down. And then at the top, you have your thought, which leads to a feeling, which leads to an action. Well, at the thought process, we are inside the brain. So today I want to talk a little bit about what's happening inside our brain and all the different parts, because I feel like it's important to know, and also some ways that you can keep your brain healthy, okay? So there's 5 major parts of our brain. So the first one is called the cerebrum. Cerebrum. I'm really bad at saying these words, so bear with me. And the second part is called the cerebellum. Then we have our brainstem. Then we have our pituitary gland. Oh my goodness. Pituitary gland. And then we have our, let me look how to say this one because I'm going to get wrong. Hypothalamus. Okay, so those are the 5 major parts of our brain. So the biggest part of our brain is that cerebrum that we talked about. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the biggest part of our brain, okay? And then the next thing that we have is our cerebellum. Our cerebellum is what gives us balance, okay? So because we have our cerebellum, we're able to stand up, we're able to walk, we're able to sit up in a chair. So that's what's kind of giving our body that balance, all right? And then we go into our pituitary glands, and that controls how much we grow, which is really cool when you think about it. Your brain is telling your body, okay, it's time to grow. Okay, like this bone needs to grow, the muscles here need to grow, and this is where the big changes in our body are happening. This is the part that's controlling that. So when you're a little kid, you have, small teeth, small ears, small hands, your insides are smaller, and then you grow up and you're starting to change and things are starting to move around, and that's all happening in your pituitary gland. Okay, now the one that's really hard for me to say. The hypothalamus controls the temperature of our body. Okay, so right now it's super important. The world is facing a pandemic, which is the coronavirus, right? Well, one of the things about the coronavirus is you get a temperature. And when you have a temperature, that means your body is fighting something inside. And then you will either start to shiver or to sweat to regulate the temperature of your body. So your body is being told by your brain what temperature it needs to be and what it needs to do in order to stay at that temperature. That's so cool, right? Okay. So then we're going to talk about what's happening with our emotions, all right? That's starting in our brain. So emotion location is part of this article that you guys are going to read. So I gave you an article inside of your packet for this week. And so I'm going to read this portion to you because this is the most important portion. I highlighted it in yellow for those of you that are on a computer doing this. If you picked up a packet, it is highlighted, but it's not in yellow, so you kind of have to look a little closer, and it's like a light gray highlighting. You could definitely tell it's highlighted, but it's not yellow. Okay, so I'm going to read this out loud to you guys, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm so excited. Okay, emotion location. With all the other things it does, it is any surprise that the brain runs your emotions? Maybe you had fun on your birthday and you were really happy, or your friend is sick and you feel sad, or your little brother messed up your room so you're really angry. Where do those emotions come from? Your brain, of course. Your brain has a little bunch of cells on each side called the amygdala. The word amygdala is Latin for almond, and that's what this area looks like. So we all know an almond. Oh, hand. I have a bunch of almonds somewhere, but I don't know where they got put. So it looks like a little almond, which is a little nut, okay? And scientists believe that the amygdala is responsible for emotion. It is normal to feel all different kinds of emotions, good and bad. Sometimes you might feel a little sad. Other times you might feel scared or silly or glad, right? So we've talked about these emotions. We have so many emotions. We have proud, we have angry, we have lonely, we have scared, excited, happy, silly, all these different emotions. So what can you do to help your brain stay healthy? There is so much you can do. So we're going to talk about the 5 things that the article talks about, and then we're going to talk about what you guys are doing this week, and then there'll be another video that will go through doing the assignment for this week. Okay, cool. Okay, so what can you do to keep your brain healthy? You can eat healthy foods that contain vitamins and minerals that are important to the nervous system. So those are our fruits, those are our veggies, those are protein, those are the things that are good for our body. We know what's good for our body. We've learned about it since we were little. Your parents know. So it's important to eat healthy, right? You got to get a lot of playtime, exercise. You got to be outside. You got to be running. You got to be jumping. If you have a trampoline, oh my gosh, spend as much time as you can on that thing. You could dance if you are someone who has to stay inside during this time. YouTube videos on how to dance. Miss Lisa posts a bunch of videos on how to do the dances from the game Just Dance. So there's lots of options out there to help you get your body moving. You need to wear a helmet when you ride your bike. That's super important. My fiance, so that means the person I'm going to marry once the coronavirus is gone. My fiance got in a really bad accident on a dirt bike, and he wasn't wearing a helmet because he was being very irresponsible, and he lost a part of his memory. Like, he does not remember a whole portion of his life because he wasn't wearing a helmet. And that's super scary. That really, really can hurt your brain. It's the same thing. If you're playing football, you have to wear a helmet because you have to protect yourself. If you're doing rodeo, you have to wear a helmet because your brain is so precious and you have to take care of it and you have to protect it because it's operating everything in your body, everything. And so if you're not protecting it, you're not protecting your body. Don't drink alcohol, take drugs, or use tobacco. We talk about this a lot at school. You don't want to do things that are not good for your body because they're going to affect your brain. And then this one's fun. Use your brain to do challenging activities such as puzzles, reading, playing music, making art, or anything else that gives your brain a workout. So that's so awesome. These are things we like to do. I know there are a few students who really love to read. I know there's a few students who really, really love doing puzzles. I love doing puzzles. And Miss Jamie does art, makes art. That's great for your brain. She's going to do some videos on how to paint, like some painting tips and tricks, and do an art project with you guys. So watch that. It's good for your brain. Listening to music or playing music if you have the ability. I'm not very musically gifted, but I got a guitar from my grandfather. And my brother's going to put new strings on it, and I'm going to try to learn some songs. So be ready when we come back to school in August. I'm going to be jamming out on my guitar during our lessons at group. Okay, so that's all about our brain. Biggest thing, this bad boy is controlling everything you got going on in your life. It's all happening in here. You have to take care of your brain. Sometimes our brain is having a rough time, and we have to do the things that make it feel better. We have to get outside. We have to exercise. We have to talk to people we love. So during this time, it's super important. If you're feeling like you're missing school a lot, please reach out to me. Please reach out to your teachers. We want to hear from you. We miss you guys so much. We are so excited to see you again. We're so excited with how hard you're working on this distance learning. And yeah, it's awesome. So take care of your brain, and I will see you in the next video.